watching Lowcountry Money Talk. Welcome back in. We promised you some strategies for 2022, and they have arrived. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And Phil Bloyd is with us with Revolutionary Financial Group. Going to kind of wrap up this whole conversation about year-end planning. Now we're going to look ahead. So, for folks out there who are thinking about their strategy for 2022, first of all, hopefully they have one. That's a good start.
Usually they come around like January 30th, 2022.
Okay, that's when they start, right?
I'm going to the gym. I need to lose 50 pounds. I've got 2 weeks to spring break.
Yeah. Right. That sounds like about where we're at from a procrastination standpoint. But that's okay. We've got you covered today. We're going to pre-plan a little bit for you. One of the things on everybody's mind, Phil, is, of course, inflation. We're really starting to feel it. So let's talk a little bit about it.
Yeah. Okay, so we had that big spike, so we're at 6.4 now, which caught some people a little flat-footed. Now, what I'm hearing and reading is most of this inflation is from what we spent last year, or which was deemed. So as you see Congress pushing through all of these big spending bills, which it seems like every one of them is over $1 trillion. I mean, my gosh, I remember when that was a big number.
Right, well, I feel like it still is.
So a lot of those funds won't even hit the system till next year, or even the year after. So if we're setting at 6.4% now, I've seen some reports by the end of December saying 8 to 10%. And we won't see that till January, as far as the reports go.
Wow.
So that's a lot.
That's significant.
Yeah.
It is.
So what if I still have my investment strategy from the longest bull run, or one of the longest, probably the longest bull run in the history of the stock market? What if I say, okay, I'm going to do the same things that I've been doing over this 13-year period, and that should do fine into an inflationary market? We can bring in that definition of insanity real quick from Einstein. I don't think we can keep doing what we've been doing and expect the same results, because the market is changing.
Absolutely.
So one of the things I've seen, energy is getting really expensive. Have you filled up your car lately, right?
Yes.
Electric bills.
It was expensive.
We're hearing that electricity for the winter, the heating, all of these things, okay? So one strategy could be, if, I'm working with companies that use a lot of energy, I'm guessing their profitability is going to be lower because they're spending more for energy. I know some parts of the stock market, like technology, they don't use much energy at all. Okay, so that could be one thing, to think about. Other things would be, what do people have to have in inflationary? Well, you got to eat, you got to drive, there's certain things you have to do. So, value stocks sometimes in an economy that's inflationary tend to do better, but also things that everybody has to use. I know there's a big thing about cryptocurrency these days and all that. But do you know it takes a lot of energy to mine for cryptocurrency?
I had no idea. Never thought about it.
I've just noticed that start pulling back. But they have rooms of computers that they have to use to do this cryptocurrency mining. And these computers use a lot of energy. And that's why Elon Musk got kind of burned out about it a few months back, and he said, hey, these crypto places are using too much energy, which isn't good.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Before we head out, actually, I do want to talk about how this plays into, how much money we have in the bank. One of the things we talked about on our last episode was that notion, of course, of the emergency fund. We got to keep enough money in the bank for an emergency. So, what's too much?
We should have just about 6 months' expenses. If not, if I have too much in there and inflation's 10, then it's worth 9. Say I have 100,000 in checking and I shouldn't have that much, and I'm 10% inflationary. Now its purchasing power is 90. I just lost 10,000 by not having a return. I did read something that said since 1913, the U.S. dollar has lost 90% of its value.
That's an astounding number.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we keep printing them out, and the
Yep.
more we print out, the lower that thing's going to be worth.
Wow, well,
Or
this
the
has been
less.
lots of good information. Some good news, right? We got
Yeah,
some tax
hey.
brackets moving, some
Yeah.
tough things to navigate like inflation,
Sure.
but all part of the big picture, and
Right.
that's where having somebody on your side can really help. Thank you for your
Absolutely.
expertise.
All right.
Again, this is Phil Bloyd. You're watching Lowcountry Money Talk. We'll see you next time.